But Brandon, it's time to do what we always do here on the Primetime Podcast, and that is make our picks. We're making picks. And yet again, Ricky's lazy and has not ordered the.
You said you were going to get him.
I will. We'll get him by. We'll get him come playoff time.
Oh, good.
We'll get him when the upset specials aren't there. We'll get him for basketball season. That's what we'll do. Okay. But this is where we kind of pick the games that are going on this week, and we kind of let you know what we think. And the first one is a Friday night matchup, which, Brandon, I'm completely against. The only reason why we have a system in the football world. NFL has Thursday. Sometimes it's some lesser college games we don't care about. Have Thursday. Friday is for the high schoolers. We give the high schoolers their day. Saturday is for college. Sunday and Monday are for the NFL. Rinse and repeat. Washington at number 12, 21 Stanford, are playing on Friday. Didn't know they were high schools. I guess they are. Washington, 6.5-point favorite. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Washington to take this one against Stanford. Stanford, they have, to me, fallen off a little bit. You know, we're looking a little bit better earlier in the season. Washington has not been obviously as good as they were last year. Only one loss. But I think Washington goes into California and gets the W.
I'm going to go with Stanford in this one. I'm going with the upset special with ranking and with the line. I'm going with the Stanford Cardinal to beat Washington by 3 points. They're going to beat them by 3 points on a last-second field goal. Then we go into the Saturday games. We've got, first off, Big Ten matchup. It's an early one. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff time here in the Central Time Zone. 24 Michigan State, 6 Ohio State. The Buckeyes, 15-point favorites, Brandon. I'm going with the Buckeyes. How about you?
I'm going with the Buckeyes as well. Completely embarrassed last weekend. Michigan State with a good win over Penn State by 3 points, but Ohio State at home in Columbus, the horseshoe's going to be rocking and rolling. They're going to get the win.
Then we've got another Big Ten matchup. Rutgers, a scary Rutgers team at 4-5. They got 3 wins in the Big Ten. That's a shocker to me that they got 3 wins, although we did mention during the preview they should be improved this year. They're going into Beaver Stadium to play the Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State's a 31-point favorite. You hitting the button? You hitting the button for 4 conference wins for Rutgers?
No, I'm not completely crazy. Penn State, though, how far they have fallen. So sad, really. But
I told you guys. You guys didn't want to believe me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I said they would lose to Ohio State.
So did half of the fucking country. And you know what the other half said?
Penn State.
Yeah.
No, the other half
Incredible.
The other half said, I don't care.
There was probably a small quarter.
Who are you picking?
Penn State.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, I'm not even that crazy to pick Rutgers, even though I think it would be amazing if Rutgers won this game and went to 5-5. I don't think it'd be terrible. You'd see Rutgers coming back to the like they were in the Greg Schiano days. Didn't Doug Martin go to Rutgers? Wasn't he a Rutgers guy, I believe? I think he was a Rutgers guy. I'm gonna have to look that up.
I know that Greg Schiano then went to the Bucks.
I will look it up while you pick 11 Oklahoma State, the Cowboys that you love. They're near and dear to your heart, mainly because you picked them as a playoff team at the beginning of the year. They are going into Ames, Iowa, to play number 15 Iowa State. Cowboys 6.5 favorites. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Oklahoma State. And Iowa State did not lose by much last week to West Virginia, but I did predict that Iowa State was going to come down a little bit off of the high that they were riding on. Not in any bad way. 20-16, not a bad loss at all, especially on the road. But Oklahoma State, I know they're coming into Ames. Oklahoma State can put up a whole lot of points. Mason Rudolph has been having himself a very, very nice season. That's going to be a whole lot for Iowa State to be able to handle. Yet it will be a good game. Oklahoma State, though.
And I was completely wrong. Doug Martin was a Boise State running back, so I don't know why I thought
Greg Schiano, because he was with
Rutgers, and then he went to the NFL with Tampa Bay. He was the head coach of Rutgers, and then he went to be the head coach of Tampa Bay.
I don't know why I thought that he was at Stanford, but
you're thinking of David Shaw.
Well, I'm not, but that's okay. Whatever.
I'm really not, Ricky. But
Moving
it's okay.
along.
I'm going to go upset special, although I kind of don't want it to happen because I kind of want TCU to win the Big 12. I'm going upset special. Iowa State, almost said Ohio State. Iowa State going to beat the Cowboys at home in Ames. Then we've got usually teams we don't talk about, but they keep staying in the rankings. We've got Connecticut 3-6. We've got number 18 Central Florida, perfect 8-0. They're a 37-point favorite. I'm going with the Golden Knights. How about you, B?
Going UCF.
And and I'm going to ask you this question, and this is the only time we're going to talk about it. You ready? Is there a chance that we get legit people petitioning for UCF to be in the playoff if they go undefeated all the way through?
No.
Brandon's looking at me like, is that a real question? If it came down to Georgia, a one-loss Georgia or an undefeated Golden Knight team, who would you put in?
Oh, Georgia, all the way.
The next game, I mentioned Georgia. We're picking an SEC game. We're going up against Arkansas, who I believe they won, but they almost lost, or they did lose to Coastal Carolina. It was a bad game. Brett Bielema should be fired. They're going into Baton Rouge to play the LSU Tigers. LSU is a 17.5-point favorite. Go Tigers. They're getting the win.
Going LSU. They didn't play a terrible game last week against Alabama. Mm-hmm. They only scored 10 points, but they only gave up 24 to a potent Alabama offense. LSU in this one.
Yeah. Arkansas, they did beat Coastal Carolina 39-38. You're done. You're not in the SEC anymore. I don't know what conference you belong into now. We're pulling your SEC card, and I think Brett Bielema should be fired from Arkansas. Then we're going ACC. We got number 20 NC State going to try to come back from their loss to Clemson, playing Boston College, who's been improved this year. NC State, only a 3-point favorite. Who you got, B?
I'm going to go NC State in this one. A tough loss last week in a game that they probably could have won. Played really, really well. I think they come into Massachusetts and get the win.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going with the Wolfpack as well, although there's a little bit of me that wants to hit that upset special button, but I am not going to do it. Then we have another close game, an ACC game, number 13 Virginia Tech going up against Georgia Tech. VT's only a 3-point favorite. However, you know me, VT, my second favorite team, going with the Hokies. How about you?
Gonna go upset special in this one. They're at Georgia Tech. Virginia Tech just coming off of that loss to Miami. Georgia Tech's that kind of sneaky team, especially with how they run their offense. I think that they're going to just sneak away with this win.
And then the big game we talked about earlier, Brandon. We mentioned this game at the beginning of the podcast. Number 1, Georgia. Number 14, Auburn. As of right now of recording this, Georgia's a 2.5-point favorite. Who do you got, Bulldogs or Tigers?
Georgia. Their defense is too good. Jarrett Stidham is good. He's going to struggle against this defense come Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Georgia as well. I've got Georgia on the mind in this one. However, do not count out the Auburn Tigers in this game. Then we have a game that I was really excited for at the beginning of the season. Then DeAndre Francois got injured. Now I'm not excited for it at all. We got Florida State on the road in Clemson. Clemson's a 17-point favorite. I'm going with the Tigers. Are you going to pick the upset? Are you going to go with Florida State?
No.
Like you might have at the beginning of the year?
No, Clemson all the way.
And I just want Clemson fans to know, the Clemson fans that keep commenting, which I love your comments, keep doing it. I'm not telling you not to, but just so you guys know, I picked Clemson, so you guys can stop saying that I pick against them. Like, did you see the comment we got last week on our picks video where it was like, oh, come on, Brandon. I expect it from Ricky, but I don't expect it from you to pick against Clemson. I picked with Clemson this week. I don't pick against you guys each and every week. Then, to me, the most intriguing matchup of the weekend. Iowa at 6-3, undefeated Wisconsin. The Badgers are 12.5-point favorites. Who do you got?
I'm going to go Wisconsin. It's at Camp Randall. That's a tough place to go in and play. Iowa got a huge win last week. It was at home. Wisconsin is not the best team in the Big Ten, but they will get this win against Iowa.
You turned 21 last week. What would be a bigger statement in a game where you're finally a 21-year-old and can go to any bar in the USA? You beat the team that is now the new fake ID. I'm going upset special. Iowa to kind of pass the torch of the fake ID, hashtag Wisconsin fake ID, pass that torch to the Wisconsin Badgers. Then a Pac-12 matchup. Well, the next two are Pac-12 matchups. We've got 3 o'clock and 4:30, so Brandon may actually watch these games or tune in a little bit. We've got USC, Colorado. USC is a 13.5-point favorite. And then Washington State, Utah. Washington State's a 1-point favorite. Who you got in both of these games?
Going USC, Washington State, USC, Sam Darnold. You know, he's still there. He's still getting things going. Colorado has not been as good as what we've seen them be in the past. In Washington State, in this one, Utah's fallen off. Washington State has pretty much stayed right there. They're 8-2 right now. They have not fallen off. And, you know, they're currently right now at 25, but they're hanging around.
I am going to go with the Trojans against Colorado. However, I look at that line and I see -1 for the Cougars. Going with the Utes. Got to go with the Utes, especially with that money. Like, 1 point. 1 point? You're giving the Cougars 1 point? I'll take Utah to win by at least a field goal in that game. They can get at least a field goal win. Then we got a big SEC game. We've got Alabama, Mississippi State, MSU, Bama. Bama's a 2-touchdown favorite. Who you got winning in Starkville? The Tide or the Dogs?
Got to go Alabama in this one. Every time, as I said earlier in one of our segments, every time Alabama steps out onto the field and they play a game, they've given me no reason why I should pick against them. Roll Tide.
I got 2 words for you, Brandon. Roll Tide. That's who I'm picking. Roll Tide. Then we've got Notre Dame and Miami. Talked about this game earlier. Notre Dame, a 3.5-point favorite. And Brandon, I'm hitting the upset special button. Miami going to stay undefeated in this game. Who do you got, the Fighting Irish or the Hurricane?
So this is one of those games that is going to be real good. You said it earlier, the Catholics versus the Convicts. That's the history known amongst these two. And it's almost always been a good game. We've got Miami, who's been that team that's, you know, been the dramatics. That's what it's been for them to be able to get a win or certainly keep a game close. And then Notre Dame has just been a team that has come out and just been rolling, especially the last couple of weeks. And Ricky, Brandon Wimbush, Josh Adams, who do they play for?
Notre Dame, but there's one name you forgot, and it's the one Sean can't say. His last name is St. Brown.
Equanimous St. Brown. Going Irish. They are going to get the win. This is going to be a great game, but Notre Dame, who the team, I believe they need this win more than Miami. Notre Dame's going to get a big win.
And then the last two, the first one is the biggest matchup that we have left. TCU, Oklahoma. Oklahoma touchdown favorite. Brandon, I made this pick already. 31-28 upset special. The Horned Frogs get the better of Baker Daddy Mayfield, as you called him earlier, and the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners. Who you got?
Oklahoma last week looked outstanding. They could do no wrong. They scored in seconds each time they had the football. There was a play early on in the game that I think should have been a touchdown for Oklahoma State. Reversed. It was not. Big play in the game. Oklahoma at home. They put up points like it's nobody's business. But that's all people are doing this week, Ricky, like I'm doing right now. They're just talking about Oklahoma. TCU, baby. They're going to win this game with they're going to win this game with some defense, just enough. It's a touchdown win for TCU and the Horned Frogs.
I'm so proud of you. So proud of you for picking the upset with me. And then the last one, we've got the Beavers, who are 1-8, probably should be 2-7. They really blew that game against Stanford a week or two ago. They're going in and playing Arizona. Arizona 23-point favorite got to go with the Wildcats. How about you?
Gotta go Arizona. If I went with Oregon State, people would really think I'm crazy.
Well, this is where you guys come in. Let us know, who do you guys got in some of these big games? Who are winning? Who are losing? How do you see these games coming out? But also, thank you guys for watching the Primetime Podcast this week. Go ahead and check out also, we had our call-in with Patrick Hill, patron at the $10 level, talked a little baseball with Patrick. Go ahead and check that out. That's going to be a YouTube-only exclusive for that podcast segment. And if you want to be like Patrick, go ahead and check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. That link is down below in the description if you don't want to remember it and you just want to click on it or highlight it and copy and paste it in your browser. We make it easy for you. I know that you guys, like myself, want everything spoon-fed to you, and I'm ready to do that. So that link is right down below in the description. Want to thank you guys for watching and listening. Make sure to go on iTunes, give us that succulent, that juicy, that 5-star rating. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. And as always, have a good day, everybody.